The Watchers, Night of Light. Written by Deirdra Eden. Narrated by Julia Farmer. Chapter 1. Predator. England, 1270 AD. Flames spewed in waves of red heat from the windows. Hot ash floated into the sky like smoldering snow. Screams from the children inside the burning cottage pierced the darkness. "We've got to help them!" I shouted and covered my ears to muffle the agonizing pleas of the trapped children. Surfacing memories haunted me of the fire that killed my parents 3 years earlier.
"Let the men handle this, Uriella. Death isn't something a young lass should see."
The village elder leaned heavily against his walking stick. His statement was false comfort. I had already seen death and never wanted to again. The fire ravaged the straw rooftop. Able-bodied adults raced to and from the brook with buckets of water. The elder shook his head in frustration.
"If it weren't for me bad leg, I'd be able to help."
I had 2 perfectly good legs. I was only 13, but I was fast and could easily carry a bucket of water from the brook. I started forward, but the elder held me back again.
"These fires aren't normal. They start too fast,"
the elder grumbled.
"If you ask me, with how frequent and spread out these attacks have been, it's got to be many arsonists working together."
Staring at the bright flames, the illusion of security I had created for myself evaporated. A horrifying thought suddenly struck me. What if it's the Shadow Legion causing these fires? I asked.
"Nonsense!"
the village elder almost shouted.
"The Shadow Legion only kills important people, like kings and nobles. They'd never come to our tiny village when London is less than a league away. It's definitely arson. The men at the tavern say several peasant homes with young girls have been targeted."
He looked down at me with wary eyes.
"Girls with flaming red hair, like yours."
He swallowed hard, making his Adam's apple bob. I swallowed too and looked back to the fire. The elder cleared his throat.
"No, it has to be arsonist. The Dark Legion is not that selective. Besides, if we are ever invaded by the Shadow Legion, the Lady of Nevaeh and the Immortal Watchers will save us."
I could not argue. All the stories I had heard coincided with what he was saying. No one knew where the Shadow Legion came from, but they were unrelenting lords of chaos. The inhuman legionnaires were unstoppable ravagers of death. Their nightmarish ranks consisted of ghostly wraiths whose whispers could poison the minds of even the purest of men. No mortal stood against the Shadow Legion and lived. That was why the Lady of Nevaeh and the immortal protectors, the Watchers, were sent to live among us. The children coughed and screamed for help from inside the cottage. I wrung my apron in my hands. It was happening just like the last time. Flames, smoke, terror, the agonized screams. It would end in death just as before. A toddler's silhouette flashed across the window. A few villagers still frantically threw buckets of water onto the house. Nearly the entire village stood before it, mouths agape, eyes wide in hopeless terror. The Lady of Nevaeh wasn't coming tonight, and someone had to save those children. Before my mind knew what my body was doing, I jumped forward into the burning cottage and bounded over the scorching rubble into the inferno. I had just thrown myself into my nightmares. I was frightened, but it was too late to change my mind now. The wave of heat hit me like a wall of boiling water. I braced myself and stepped over a smoldering support beam. My skirt brushed against it and burst into a sheet of flames. I spun the cloth in my fists and quickly smothered the fire. 3 children huddled together in the corner. I grabbed the toddler and shouted above the roaring flames and snapping wood, "Hurry! Stay close behind me!" Small hands gripped what was left of my skirt. My bare feet sunk into the hot ash. The smoldering cinders felt no warmer than golden sand on a sunny beach as I held the children close and navigated through the collapsing cottage. A blazing heap of rubble stood between us and the door. "We can't get over!" the eldest child shouted and pointed to the debris blocking our way out. Stones from the chimney crumbled to the floor. The roof bowed, threatening to give way on us. I boosted the children, one at a time, over the burning debris and out the door. I clenched my teeth and put my hand against the scorching beam to support myself. My fingers tingled.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.